in my opinion, the HOA board manipulated the attorney, and the attorney in terms they were telling them that it was assessments and HOA fees. So they made as if I never was paying my association fee. So everything that was sent to the court continued to say assessments, assessments, unpaid assessments, unpaid assessments. And that's not true. I paid the assessment. When they increased the assessments to $250, I paid that. Then the next year, when they made the assessments $87 on top of our HOA fees, I paid that also, and I continued to pay that. I was never late on anything.
Right.
So because I didn't have my say so in court, the judge never knew what. I never even got a chance to speak with the judge at all. Everything was taken away from me.
Right. And that certainly doesn't sound fair.
No,
Um,
it's not fair at all. It's not, and I
mhm,
don't want that to happen to anyone else. It's not fair.
right. Now you talked about the lien a little bit. So do you want to just sort of walk us through when you received that letter back in 2024 with the $4,000 amount?
Yeah, that's how they recorded the lien at the Oakland County Register of Deeds. The lien was recorded for $4,222. So once that got recorded, it seemed like the whole process was just very draining. And I was just truly blessed that I was actually glad to get it over with. Not happy that I had to pay this money, but I felt like now that I can move on a little with my life, as opposed to I got numerous phone calls from people all the time wanting to know if my property was for sale. I got text messages. It I was afraid to go outside because people were slow rolling past my unit, looking, in my courtyard, all through my when I wasn't even doing any entertaining or anything like that. So to me, I felt like this was unjustified that you placed the lien on my property for $4,222, and my property is valued at over 200,000. So you were going to steal my property, and I told them that. I said, this is a scam. You all are trying to steal my property, because this wasn't just happening to me. This was happening to others in this community, and unfortunately, some people have lost their property.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so then let me go back here for a second. You, like you said, were very fortunate enough to walk into a bank because you've managed your life and your finances so well that you were able to
Mm-hmm.
get this off of your plate once and for all.
Yes.
Can you talk about how that made you feel when this was finally over?
I was angry. I was disappointed. Um, I was so flustered that this is my hard earned money. I go to work every single day, and it wasn't to pay out $20,000 for a frivolous lawsuit that was placed against me by my neighbors, by a volunteer board. Um, and I'm still angry about it. I'm happy that the lien and the list pending has been discharged. I'm happy that I was truly blessed that I could um, take this money out of my account. But at the end of the day, it was just very draining, and it's unfair. It's unjustified, unfair, and I don't even know how the board or even the attorney could sleep at night. If you call yourself a debt collector attorney, the first thing you can do, you were supposed to do, was prove the debt, and you didn't.
Okay. And looking back, what part of this process was the most confusing or overwhelming for you, LJ?
Just receiving the letter was confused. I was confused. Why was I getting a letter from an attorney when I've done nothing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You They accepted my payments for 18 months, and then you lock my account after you build up all of these fees. And then I wasn't even didn't even know, or was even told that I was even getting late fees behind the scene. How am I getting late fees behind the scene when I'm paying on time each month? So, the whole thing to me was just a scam, and it was. I felt, in my opinion, it was some type of ploy to steal my property, and I told them that even in writing. I kept going back. You're trying to steal my property. Why? And it's like I don't even know how this whole thing even started. And if I put in a work order and the work order is not going to be handled by the association, then just cancel it. Say so. This is not our responsibility. This is your responsibility.
Right.
I know how to hire a contractor.
Yeah. Now, I do agree that there should have been communication that was very clear on who was responsible.
Exactly.
Um, and I just want to go back for just a moment. You mentioned that your account went to legal at $917.
Yes.
Now, are you familiar with the board's threshold that they use to decide when an account goes to legal? Because that seems low to me.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, that would be a question.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumors, but I can't, speak on that. But I've heard that I was under the threshold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right. And so you mentioned that you were angry even after you got everything paid off and the lien was discharged. You talked about being angry, but tell me uh, how this whole situation affected you emotionally, otherwise, or day to day, because you were dealing with some other personal things that I'm sure that this situation was only adding to that.
Yeah, it was mentally draining. I was masking each day, keeping it from my mom. My mom was 83 years old. When I bought this property, she was so proud of me.
Yes.
Keeping it from my friends. Um, it was just mentally draining. And then to lose my loved one that I was giving caregiving for at that same time, I didn't want anybody to know that. Then I
Right.
still had to go to work and I had to put on a different face. So each day I would come home and instead of me, being with my family and my friends, I would get in the bed because I was exhausted,
Yes.
thinking
Under-
that I was going to lose my property and lose my home.
right. Understood. Do you need a moment?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. So we're almost at the end now. I just wanted to ask a couple more questions.
Sure.
If another co-owner is watching this and feels alone right now, what would you want them to know that you didn't know when this process started for you?
I didn't know that the maintenance fee would come back to me 18 months later. I didn't know that um, my own HOA community board, that are my neighbors, refused to meet with me. Um, I didn't know that no matter what you say and no matter how much you quote the law to them, that they blatantly disrespect the law and they continue to move forward with placing um, more and more debt on my account.
Right. Is there anything else that you would like to share, LJ, that you haven't covered today?
This is all public information. Everything that I'm saying here is recorded at the Oakland County Courthouse. The case number is 2025-212-680. C is in Charles, H is in Henry. That's a number that I'll never forget.